Welcome to Rewild by Design, podcast for women in midlife who are ready to burn the rule book, drop the good girl mask, and come home to who they really are. I'm your host, Marissa, a human design and Gene Keys mentor and your guide in this wild woman era. Get ready for bold conversations, raw truths, and the kind of insights that'll shake you awake. Because midlife isn't the end of your story. It's the point where you finally get to write it your way. Welcome back to Rewild by Design. And today I wanted to talk about something that far too many women accept as just normal, and that's burnout. We've been taught that exhaustion, excuse me, is just a part of life. That being tired all the time means you're doing something right, that you're successful, you're productive, you're a good mom, you're a good partner, you're an excellent friend. But burnout isn't a proof of strength. Burnout's a signal. And if you're like me and you've been ignoring it, you're not alone here. And that's what we're going to unpack in this conversation. Now, I know burnout like the back of my hand. There was a time in my life, I would say for a good chunk of my life, that I just thought I could out hustle it. I bought all the planners. Honestly, I can't tell you how many planners I have that I've maybe used for a little bit that then the rest of it just sits and collects dust. And I've signed up for all the programs. I am a recovering digital course hoarder. And I used to have all of these specific routines, like a morning routine, an evening routine. And I just added more and more self care to my to do list, my never ending to do list. And you know what? For a little while, those things seemed to help a little bit, but it was like a band aid, right? Like a band aid on a bullet hole. I it I kept hitting that wall over and over and over again. And it was like my body kept whispering to me, "Hey girl, this shit ain't working." And I just chose to keep ignoring it. And it was until like one day, that little knock, that little like, hey, you're really exhausted. Like you have no energy for this. This little whisper finally turned into a shout that I couldn't ignore. And I couldn't pretend. I couldn't keep going the same way and doing the same things. And when I look back on it, I can really see some clear themes. First off, I'm a projector, and my energy just naturally works different than those who have defined sacrals. And projectors often, we are told that we're lazy. Like, why do you need to go lay down? Why do you got to go take a nap? Why do you want to be by yourself? Why are you so tired? Why can't you keep up? But I'm not lazy. I'm not weak. I was just living in a way that was so completely out of alignment with how my energy actually is meant to operate. I mean, it's no wonder that I burned out because no productivity hack in the world could fix misalignment. And burnout doesn't show up in the same way in every season of life, right? In your 20s, you can bounce back faster. You can pull those all nighters. You can go out and party, and you can get up and just go out, do the things, go to the job, hold all the responsibilities, maybe have two jobs, and hold everything together. And somehow you just magically keep going because you have the energy for it. But In midlife, that story shifts. The responsibilities stack higher. We have more demanding jobs. We're raising our kids, navigating relationships, and maybe caring for aging parents. We're that sandwich generation. And there are so many things on your plate, and that plate is so full before you can even get to your own needs. Now, on top of all of that, you're also carrying decades of conditioning. And what's conditioning? Right? It's what we're told from the outside. And conditioning is a natural part of life. And I'll get into it in some future episodes about conditioning and what deconditioning is. But long story short, a lot of the conditionings we've been taught as women is we have to prove ourselves. So there's years of proving that we're either worthy of acceptance, we're worthy of love, we're worthy of the jobs and the accolades. And maybe you've had years of staying quiet to keep the peace, or years of playing roles that were never meant for you. So obviously they don't fit. So when women in midlife hit that wall of burnout, this isn't a personal failure. Let me say that again. When you hit burnout, this isn't a personal failure. This is just a natural result of caring far too much for far too long in so many ways that don't match how you're actually built. Now, what shifted for me when it actually helped me get out of burnout was number one, taking care of myself and flipping that script of I have to prioritize everybody else before myself. Otherwise, I'm selfish. So that was number one. And the second thing is just the realization that not everyone is meant to work or create or live in the exact same way. Some people are here to generate and sustain energy. These are our sacral types. They have an internal battery power. Others of us are designed to guide and see the things that other people might miss. Whereas other people are here to initiate, to spark things in the rest of us. And then there's some people who are here to reflect back the health and the vitality of the communities around them and show us possibility. But when you live in a world that only praises the ones who can go nonstop or who can just go out and do things, it's really easy to think that you're failing if you can't keep up. Those are unrealistic expectations. Let me ask you, what if you were never supposed to keep up? What if your energy was meant to move differently? And that's exactly what human design showed me. It gave me the language for why I burned out no matter how hard I tried to fix it or fix myself. And it's what I see over and over with women that I work with. The moment that they realize their exhaustion isn't personal and it's structural, something shifts. The light bulb goes on, something clicks. And this is where you stop blaming yourself and you start making choices that actually support you. So let's pause and think about your own life for a second. Where do you feel most drained right now? Is it the job that looks good on paper but leaves you completely empty at the end of the day? Or is it the constant people pleasing, saying yes when every fiber of your being is screaming no? Or is it the invisible labor, holding the mental load for your family, managing everything behind the scenes, and making sure everyone else is okay when you're out here running on fumes? I want to remind you, burnout just doesn't come out of nowhere. It's almost like a slow burn. And it's that signaling point that shows you the energetic mismatches, the places where you're spending energy in ways that don't work for you. And once you see that, it changes everything. And you stop trying to patch over the symptoms and start asking instead, what needs to change about the way I'm living? And again, like I said in episode 1, I'm not all about burning everything to the ground, but I am about finding ways to make life work for you and for your energy. And these can be subtle, small shifts that make all the difference. And recovering from burnout, again, is not about throwing your whole life away. It's about those small, consistent shifts that continuously bring you back to yourself. And it's about learning when enough is enough. It's about honoring rest without the guilt. Let me say that again for the people in the back. It's about honoring rest without guilt. And it's about trusting that saying no won't make you any less valuable. It will actually make you more available for what really matters. And it's about knowing that your energy has its own wisdom. When you learn how it really works, you stop running on empty and start creating a life that gives back to you. And that's why human design and the gene keys matter to me. Not because, again, I needed another label, but because they gave me a way to understand myself without shame. They gave me a map to stop burning out. And that's what I want for you too. So, here's what I invite you to sit with after this episode. Burnout is not your destiny. It's simply a signal that you've been living outside of how your energy really works. And if you want to take the first small step toward something different, I invite you to grab my free energy snapshot audio. It's a short, simple, and practical way to show you how your energy type is meant to use energy. And the link again will be in the show notes. And a final reminder, this isn't about pushing any harder or adding more to your list. This is about finally living in a way that gives you your energy back. Well, that's it for this episode of Rewild by Design. I trust that you got what you needed here today. And just remember, you don't need another checklist. You need your own voice back. So go out, live a little louder, a little freer, and a hell of a lot more like yourself. And I'll see you next time.